welcome back to my channel. If you are new to this channel, then welcome. Today's video is very special because we have a special guest on our channel, that is Dr. Geeta Paste, known as my mom.
Hello everyone.
Okay, without wasting any minute, let's get started. So, I have noted down appropriate questions which are asked by my Instagram followers. So, here goes your first question. How to control your mind and emotions, how to get over your past feelings and move on.
That's an excellent question. It's very much required. We have to control our mind and emotions. Why to control mind? That means we should stop thinking? No, it doesn't mean. When it is beyond our control, when we start thinking erratic way and behaving in unexpected ways, there lies a need to control our mind. And as well as very well asked, both how to control mind and emotions, they go hand in hand. Whatever we belief is biology. Mind is all the time wandering. To achieve something, we have to do with great concentration to get success in everything that we aspire to get and accomplish. Hence, to bring control our mind, we have to first calm down our behavior. How to do that? How to go about that? Behavior is nothing but the effect of whatever that goes on in our mind.
Yes.
Okay. To control our behavior, to controlling mind is important. There are very well different techniques, but let's look at one or two, just two. First is to relax our body. By relaxing, we first stop. What happens in the process of behaving? Behavior, as it is depending on the command given by the mind. So, by stopping the thought processes that take place in our mind, we can definitely channelize the thought processes. What involves thoughts, the words, the thinking that goes on. It has to be put in a systematic way, not to give a erratic movement or flow. Hence, first learn to relax the body. It can be achieved by doing some exercise, yoga and meditation. Very well, they are now the word of today's very chaotic scenario. Hence, we can definitely calm down the body by relaxing, by meditating, by doing yoga. The thoughts also can be brought under our control, and definitely thoughts lead to our emotions. So emotions also are destructive sometimes, though we have positive impacts of intense emotions, they also have adverse impacts. So by controlling whatever, because of the type of thoughts we experience the emotions, hence by controlling thoughts, definitely the intensity, the intense feeling, the adverse effect experience of emotions can be definitely brought under control.
Okay, so you suggest meditations to control our mind and emotion?
Yes, definitely.
It's one of the techniques.
Yes, one of the techniques.
Okay, so here is your second question. How to handle traumatic breakup?
Breakup. We are social beings. We need to be in the company of others. We have friends, close relatives, and we have people who are intimately we are related to. No doubt, it's in a way helpful. But when it breaks up, there are many reasons we can say. Maybe there are some situations that has made other person with whom we are in a relationship wants a change. He wants to move away from your life, but you are calling it is as traumatic. For him, it need not be traumatic. Just imagine uh, uh, in a relationship, when we are friendly, there are so many sacrifices we are doing. We are sparing time for him or her. We are bearing that person for whatever he does or uh, which we don't like. We are sacrificing so many things, and we are also giving much time. When there is a breakup, there is you are getting ample time for yourself. You need not sacrifice. You become more independent than before, whereas when you are in relationship you become dependent on that person for everything. But now when there is a breakup, you have ample time. He walks into his life. Don't take it otherwise. Don't give a name that it is traumatic. You can convert it as by you are getting more time, you are trying to becoming more independent, you understand your own potentialities, and understand that there are so many beautiful people, beautiful situations, scenario surrounding us. There are so many social causes you can give time which you were not giving before. You were concentrating, you were relying on particular person, but now you are free with all these to take up whatever is of your interest. You can work for the social cause, you can devote time to achieve your own goals and succeed.
So you can call it a me time rather than a breakup.
Yes, take it in a positive sense, blessing in disguise.
So every morning I have to break up with my sleep and it's very traumatic.
Yes, don't take it traumatic.
Okay, so here is your next question. How to reduce stress or pressure or workload in the office or profession?
Stress is part and parcel of our life. It is inevitable. We feel it is adverse, but not all stress is bad. There are different types of stress. Sometimes it can be eustress, which is helpful. To achieve something, when we are given a target deadline to submit our assignments or projects, we undergo a stressful situation. It's not bad. It brings best in us and in a given stipulated time. And for achieving something, we have to undergo this stress. Without the targets, without the deadlines for submission of assignments or projects or whatever it is, the best from us will not come. We have to learn to accept the situation. We have to learn to cope up with the situation, adapt, accept, adapt, and cope up with these stressful situations, which are must for succeeding and going higher. Once, like it is said, when we ask for the rights, it also is followed by duties. Hence, even if we want to go higher in our achievements, definitely we have to accept that to overcome the challenges. Don't take it as stress which is bad. It's a eustress, it's a good stress.
Yeah.
So profession has to be enjoyed. Do with utmost interest what is assigned to you. Try to learn something out of the work that you are involved.
So here is your next question. If you think positive of someone, does that person get to know without actual meet? I think this person is asking about telepathy.
Yes, this transference of thought falls under extrasensory perception, which is called as telepathy. Like there are other processes of psychokinesis, clairvoyance, and all. But as far as thoughts, uh, the evidences have been got by the scientists supporting the favorableness about the existence of telepathic transference. Recently, there is a study conducted on one of the one of the person from India who transferred the message to other person living 5 miles away.
Okay.
By using some technologies to record the sending and receiving of the message in the coded words. Though there are no many research studies, but still there are some research evidences which support this phenomenon of transference of thought, which is called as telepathy. where even the absence of sense organs, there is a transference of thought from one mind to the other person. We have also been experiencing this in our families now and then, with whom we are in very much a closer relationship.
So it means we are connected with each and every person.
Yes, definitely.
Next questions are related to depression, so I'll club two questions. Does depression have time limit? What happens if it crosses? Does depression really exist or it is a myth?
Depression or a mood disorder, it's believed to be basically the impairment in brain mechanism or hormonal chemical reactions in the brain. For this depression, it's not just being blue or lack of mood 1 or 2 days. For it to be called as a disorder, a person has to experience the depressive symptoms of feeling tired, feeling low, guilt feeling, lack of energy, or lack of interest in anything which was of interest to him before. It should be these symptoms, at least 5 of these symptoms have to be experienced at least every day, at least for 2 weeks. Only then it is called as depression. Asking how long it will last. With reference to that, it depends again on our lifestyle. What type of lifestyle we have. What are our health enhancing behaviors? Like it can be diets, exercise, or meditation. And what type of medication we have been given. With this, it may depend on lasting from weeks, months to year also. If untreated, if we are not intervening or checking about this depressive symptoms, it may interfere our lifestyle, it may affect adversely our interpersonal relationships and even influence our job. We may not be able to perform well in our job situations. So medication, psychotherapy, electroconvulsive therapies are used to bring down the depressive symptoms. Definitely it's curable.
Okay, so don't call it a depression when you don't get to eat pizza when you want.
Yes.
Your last question: obsessive compulsive disorder, that is OCD, and how to deal with it.
OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, is an anxiety disorder where these symptoms are characterized by obsessions or thoughts, intrusive, uncontrollable thoughts which lead to compulsive behaviors. Here the obsessions can be like fear, anxiety, or the thoughts of doing something, committing error. It can be the thoughts like what happens if I kill someone, stab someone. We come across some studies where the mother had obsessive thoughts of killing her own child by drowning in the water. Such thoughts keep recurrent coming into our thought processes, which are actually people don't want to think, get these thoughts, but it is beyond their control. And as a response to these obsessive thoughts, the compulsive behaviors we feel like doing, like you have seen some people washing their hands off and on. Yes, it is because of the obsessions that our hands are dirty. If people travel by public transportation and come home, often they sanitize their hands or they keep on washing, thinking that they might have caught some germs in the public transport. They never use public toilets.
When you have them, how to deal with it?
Yes. We have to definitely control our OCD symptoms. That is even the thoughts and our behaviors. There is a behavioral technique. In that, systematic desensitization is one of the methods, where a person is asked to make a list of the situations which in which it creates anxiety in him. Maybe he is afraid or uncomfortable, such experiences, which thoughts are very creating harm to him. So make a list from less severe to the most severe. Like talking to a stranger is a situation where he feels. And facing exams is the highest. So ask the first sentence to put on top, and the highest disturbing thought, anxiety creating thought, to ask them to give it a highest
last.
score
Okay.
at the bottom. Then make him to relax. Ask him to imagine the situation which he has written as on top, as first situation where he experiences these thoughts which creates anxiety.
Okay.
When he is asked to imagine, simultaneously ask him to relax. So here the basic concept is to make the person relax while he has this thought. To overcome the fear experience of these situations, person cannot relax when he is in intense situations. So we have to make the person to relax while he has this thought by making practice. When he learns to relax with the thought of the first situation, then go to the next situation. Likewise, the person has learned to relax with these obsessive thoughts, the first type of situation. Next, go to the next situation, next severe situation. When again he learns, just like that, go on to the severity of the situations where he experiences these anxiety creating situations as intrusive thoughts, or fearful or uncomfortable anxiety thoughts. Very well, with practice, this is possible to bring that person out of his own obsessive compulsive thoughts and behaviors.
Okay. So now all the questions have been answered. I hope it helps everyone out there. And please take care of your mental health.
Thank you so much for giving opportunity, and I have tried to explain a bit, not completely. This is an attempt to give the best.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so if you want a private counseling, you can DM me on Instagram. The link is given below in the description.